I think it's important to listen to what you heard and analyze what you heard because apparently if you're defined as an enemy combatant, it would be okay not to have a trial, not to have a lawyer, and you wouldn't be presumed innocent, you would be presumed guilty. But the question you have to ask is who gets to define the enemy combatant? So if the government gets to define you as an enemy combatant, is it not conceivable that you could be an enemy combatant because you are a minority, either of skin color or of ideology? Has it happened in the past? The Japanese citizens were minority, but there was no evidence. No one presented any evidence that they were a threat or had done anything wrong. The Non-Detention Act attempted to fix this. There were people like this back in the time of World War II. There are people like this in every war who are frightened of those who would attack us, so they want to give up a constitution to make it simpler to get to guilt. You don't have to have a trial, you just proclaim people guilty. If you proclaim someone an enemy combatant, there will be no trial. But it begs the question, who gets to decide? Are you going to let one person decide, or are we going to have a jury? Imagine how important this is to our country. We should be alarmed that there are people trying to prevent a trial by jury in our country. It hadn't been used so far, thankfully. We have actually 386 times taken terrible, awful, rotten people who have tried to attack us. We tried them in courts with juries. We presumed they were innocent. We found them guilty, and we punished them. See, the problem isn't about how terrible terrorists are or terrorism is. Murders are equally as bad. I mean, we had somebody go in a nightclub in Orlando and kill 125 people. He's as evil as any terrorist we've got out there, yet he will get a trial. Not because anybody condones what he does, not because anybody doesn't want to punish him. We give him a trial because it's part of who we are. It's part of America to have trials. You short-circuit America. You short-circuit American history. If you get rid of a trial by jury, if you get rid of presumption of innocence, it doesn't mean you have any sympathy for the guilty. But we've got to make sure we get the guilty. We can't just sort of prosecute people because they have brown skin, because they have black skin, because we don't like the way they act, or we don't like their religion. That's what comes of a country that doesn't have trials. Look around the world. There are countries that don't have trials. That's not who we are. We cannot be so frightened of terrorism that we are going to presume guilt and have no trials. It will end up in tyranny. And so I ask again and again, and I won't ask it now because he's left, but I ask again and again, will this body not allow a vote? This isn't even about him voting no. It's about him objecting to even the democratic process of the Senate allowing a vote. So America needs to know there is one opponent in the Senate who does not believe in the Bill of Rights. When he declares you an enemy combatant, you don't get the Fifth or Sixth Amendment. That's what this is about, and I'm happy if he wants to go home and defend that, but this is a very important debate and should not end here. Thank you.